It's by the number 87, just below that. So the two names of Ya'akov and Yisrael parallel the two revelations of Hashem, Havaya and Elikim. Yisrael, he was so called because he prevailed over the angel called Elohim. So that's the transcendent. And Yaakov is Akev, Yud Akev. That's the Yid invested in the world, engaged in the world. So now it continues, that the general avodah, so there are the two movements, as it were, that express the general avodah v'yid. Rotze v'shuv is a description of the malachim, of the divine chariot, and the Navi sees the angels rotze going out, as it were, and returning. So rotze means transcendence. The direction is upwards. And shuv is engagement, coming back. So that's the avodah of malachim. He's saying that the whole ishtalshalus, all of existence, reflects this dynamic of havaya and elikim. Chiluk b'nei the difference between rotze and shuv is similar to what we're talking about here. Chiluk shebein beis Hashem is havaya elikim. It's connected to the distinction between havaya and elikim because rotze union shall helen v'hester. We may say the opposite here, the way we just framed it. Let's see. Rotzoy is concealment. Concealment from where? From our world. Aliyah l'mayla, the person seeks to ascend above and be absorbed within godliness. He wants to disappear, as it were, in Rotzoy. He wants to dissolve his sense of separation. And he yearns to be connected to a higher place. And that's Helen v'hesed in the sense of he's not revealing in the Rotzoy state, he's not revealing godliness here in this world. On the contrary, he is escaping it, as it were, or transcending it. That's Aliyah l'mayla. Shuv, the return downward, that's revealing godliness in the world. So the Halav Hestri means the world is left in the dark as he is in a world of godliness. And moreover, the Helen Hester is he himself is in a concealed state. He's dissolving himself, as it were. Bittul. So Shirigmosam l'maylu ha'chilik sheben Hashem est elikim v'avaya. So he seems to be saying the opposite as you said before, I think. Yeah. So elikim, on the contrary. So elikim is the rotzoi, and if I said otherwise or not. Don't think I spelled it out, but it's spelling it out now for us. That Elikim, if I said otherwise, so it's this way. That's coming. Elikim is the Rotzoi, and Havaya is the Gilui Lamata. Achiluk, and this is also the general difference. It's all parallels. All of existence is this binary system. Everything comes down to this Bligvul Gvul, Elikim, Havaya, revelation, concealment, ascent, descent. It's the same. Its manifestations are the same two primary states. And that's therefore the chilek shebein oidus v'kelim. So oidus and kelim. So kelim is, again, this could be, kelim generally is concealment. And oidus is revelation. So in general, that's likim and havaya, in general terms. Shemizen nimshach gam ba'ilam. And this is manifest in creation, existence. Achilik is biyah. Atzilus is in one plane and biyah is another plane. And that is, that Atzilus is, the way it describes it here, removed from us. That's like Helem, that's Rotzoi. And biyah is godliness engaged in the world, revealed to whom? Revealed to creation. Whereas Atzilus is beyond us. That's like, in the way he's describing it here, Atzilus is Elikim. This is the paradox here, a little bit. Atzilus is Elikim, concealment for us, and Biyah Hashem Havaya. It means the lower level of Hashem Havaya is invested in creation. And it seems he's even saying that Kalim is Aliyah l'mayla. The nature of the keli is a true keli, on all levels, a true disciple, a true keli. It longs to ascend and merge with the mashpia. So the true keli, the movement is below to above. The keli wants to leave its world, as it were, and connect to the oid. And the oid is amshachem l'mayla l'mata. The keli is the Talmud. The oid is the Rav. So here too, the Rav is like this Hashem Havaya, revealing downwards, and the Talmud is keli. So here it means Shem Alikim. You see the connection. That Shem Alikim engenders an aliyah milamata l'mayla. You want to connect to the source. You want to escape the concealment. And Havaya is Hamshachem l'mayla l'mata. So all to say that the names Yaakov and Yisrael, so therefore what is what? What are we left with? That Yisrael is the Hamshach. Seems he's saying that here. Yisrael is Havaya, Hamshachem l'mayla l'mata. Yeah, for sure. And Yaakov is Shem Alikim. No, I'm sorry, the opposite. Yaakov yes, because Yaakov is the Keli. You know what? It's not clear. We can say this either way. Maybe it'll become clearer. No. We could say this either way, because why? On the one hand, Yaakov is engagement in the world. Shachal Lamata. That's on the one hand. On the other hand, being down here causes a desire for ascent. He's saying, as we said, the Keli, that he said clearly that Shem Alikim, the Rotzo is Hanle Vehester, and Shuv is Amshacha V'Giloi. So Rotzo is Alikim, and Shuv is Shem Havaya. That could be that he means that also in Yaakov and Yisrael, because a Yid, the shlichus is, you have to engage the world. That's his place. That's why, and that's the key to it. The key to being successful in the world is when you're constantly longing to be in the Beis Medrash and daven and learn. Then you're successful when you're out there, when you have this rotzei. So hence, if this is the correct pshat, so Yaakov is the inyan of what? Of rotzei. Yeah, that was fit. So that's why is it rotzei? On one hand, it's dafka because he's the keli, dafka because his shlichus is in the world. So therefore, he can't wait for Shabbos, can't wait to sit and learn, can't wait to be in the Fabrengen. And Adrab, that's the success. The moment he becomes comfortable in Elam Haza, he's part of the problem, not the solution. You have to bring godliness to the world. So engage it, Yaakov, but at the same time it has to be the Rotzah. And not the but, that's critical to the Shlichus. So it's like the Baal Tshuva. Tshuva is all about elevating the Mata, but Dafka, because he's in the Tnu of Aliyah L'mayla. And the tzaddik is Amshochem l'mayla l'mata. The tzaddik is a place of holiness, and that's Shem Havaya. He's projecting godliness to the world. He's the higher place and projecting godliness down. So that's Shem Havaya. That's Amshochem l'mayla l'mata. That is seems the pshat. This is similar to, just to elaborate on. We're saying the one hand Yaakov is in the world, at the same time he's Rotzei. So again, we're saying because he's in the world, that's why he has this rotzei. A true keli, the true disciple, longs to understand the idea the way the Rav does. The Rav is being mamshech l'mayla mata. The keli is all about aliyah. So this is also similar in the laws of kashrus that pointed a beautiful explanation, beautiful message in the laws of kashrus of a kosher animal, that the hoof has to be split. It needs to be a hoof, but has to be split. What's the message? The hoof is that you don't walk on the ground, the animal. person has to live a life of transcendence. At the same time, if we're split, not disconnecting the world, we've got to draw godliness down. So that's the two inyonim. The fact that there's a hoof, that's the aliyah, lifted from the world. And because you're lifted from the world, then you're in a position to bring godliness into the world. As long as, again, if we are part of it, we're part of the problem, not the solution. The whole way to bring godliness into the world is when a Yid recognizes this is not his place, until it becomes a Didullah Yisbarech, he's a foreigner here. And as we said yesterday, if he ever forgets that, he's reminded. And so we're here on the shlichus. And so, but until the world does not become a Diddah, there's the longing for godliness. Again, a Jew can't wait for Shabbos, he can't wait for the shir. That's where he's at home. But he's in the world because that's what he needs to do. He needs to bring that to the world. So Yaakov, he's in the world, and therefore by him, what's the avodah? Aside from the obvious, you're in the world because you've got to do mitzvahs there and transform it, but you've got to do it in such a way that there's the rotzui. And you're not comfortable there until the world becomes a place where God's revealed. Is that clear? So that's the rotzui. So that's Shem Elikim. That's the Keli that seeks ascent. And Yisrael is the avodah of Hamshacha, of drawing godliness down into the world. That's the Shuv. Yeah, that's it. Clearly that's what he's saying. Yeah? Now I'll go further. It's very Bekitzer here, but this whole mind needs to explain. Okay, he's going to continue a little bit further. So it's all to answer why we're still calling Yaakov the name Yaakov, even though his name was changed to Yisrael, in contrast to Avram and Avram. We have all the answer now, because this is a critical avodah. This is the yichud of Avayid Likim. So we understand now at the end of this whole Maimer, just like the two names of the Eibishtem, Shem, K'toshim, Shem, Nimchakim, they're sacred names that cannot be erased. Forbidden. When written, can't be erased, because they are expressions of the Eibishter, his kavan, his intent. And moreover, the fact that they can't be erased means they're ever present. The tachlis would be that in Shem Elikim would be revealed Shem Havai, and so on. That the Mogin is not removed ever. Shem Elikim is never removed. It's just that godliness is revealed in the Elam Hazah. That's the point of Dira B'Tachtonim. The Tachton remains. So all these two things are nitzchias. So likewise, in Keinu Gam Be'Beis Hashem is Yaakov Yisrael. So Yid's avodah, as expressed in the avodah of Yaakov and Yisrael, Shem Bedugmas Beis Hashem is Havai Likim, which parallel the Eibishter's names. They're also eternal. Shagam Heim Eino Nimchakim, and that's why Yaakov's name persists. Hainu sheyeshtam b'tmidus, they are forever, and that's the avodah of Rotzoi and Shuv. Yaakov's the avodah of Rotzoi, and Yisrael is the avodah of Shuv. It's like again, Tzadik Bal Tshuva, Shabbos the weekday. He said. Now the general idea is further more explanation. So the whole point is there should be the yichud of Vayelikim. The whole point of the tzimtzum is to create a world, and what's the point of that? That in this world godliness be revealed. That's the point of the tzimtzum. That's the reason for the Magin. The whole reason for the Magin is that we, as finite human beings in the Elam Hazah, should know God in all of His glory. That's the whole avodah. So Shenasa Davidoson Shabnei Yisrael. So we have to affect this. That's the whole shlichus. That's the whole avodah. When the words of the Zohar, the Takana Roza Dishmei, to reveal the mystery, His mystery in His name, which is this world, as we explained, what a name means. So this happens through the avodah of Bnei Yisrael in Bebezi, Fani avodah. So the two avodas are required. Oifen avodah the Yaakov, and the Oifen avodah of Yisrael. This is also alluding here to, there are those who are out there in the world. That's the main shlichus. And there are those whose world it is the world of Torah. Masters of good deeds and masters of Torah. Mori uvdin tovin or Mori Torah. They're both necessary. There's Shabbos and the weekday, and both have their place. And they have to interconnect, they have to fuse, but they have their place. The Ya'akov, so you need the Oifen Aveda, the Ya'akov and Oifen Aveda the Yisrael. Like Yisachar Zvulun. The same dynamic repeats in many manifestations. As explained in Likutei Torah and in a book with the Mittel Rebbe, I think, of the Ksav Yad Kodesh, the Mittel Rebbe, I think, Ma'atov Alecha Ya'akov Mishkan Yisecha Yisrael. Yeah. So the Pasuk makes a reference to the oil, the tent of Yaakov, and the dwelling place of Yisrael. So that's the avodah of Yaakov and Yisrael. So Yaakov is the tent, it's temporary, because Yaakov labors and works until the wood becomes the dira. And in the end, Mishkan Yisecha Yisrael, the wood becomes the dwelling place for godliness, Yisrael revelation, but the revelation is where and to who? To Yaakov in the world. So that's why he mentions these two names of Eden, Lifnei Zeb, Divya Maschel. And this is also explained in the Maamar of the Alter Rebbe, begins with the words again, a pasuk where both names are evoked. Lehibit Oven be Yaakov. He didn't see iniquity in Yaakov. Hashem doesn't see that. Overlooks. Bilam is praising the Eden. V'leiro Omal be Yisrael. He doesn't see. Omal means usually means toil, but here it means failure. He doesn't see it. Again, the point here being, Yaakov and Yisrael are mentioned emphatically by the pasuk because this is Havai and Elikim. This is the whole Avodah to reveal godliness in this world. The whole kavanah is that the loftiest revelation of Hashem Himself, the Shem Havaya, Yumshech v'yoir b'pnimius, it should be drawn down and revealed. Now the chiddush here is b'pnimius, because naturally, when Havaya would be revealed, it would dissolve us. The infinite would render us insignificant, would dissolve us out of existence. We have no place, no relationship with Shem Havaya. But the big chiddush is that we will, and in an internal way, Bepnimius, remaining as we are with all of our limitations, all permeated with the infinite and finite fuse and become one. That's naturally impossible, but that's the whole avodah that a Yid does, because a Yid is drawn on the essence of Hashem, which is the source of all of this, and therefore it's all one ultimately. Torah reveals that, because God revealed His essence in Torah, Anoichi, and therefore every mitzvah and every limud Torah, that's what He's accomplishing. He's accomplishing and setting into place the Gil of Shem Havaya, where in the Pnimius of this world, in His world, Bislapshus Bekelim, in the vessels of all of existence, starting with His own and creation, which are created by Al-Amog and the Shem Elikim. What created the Kelim? The Tzimtzum. So this is the Amshacha of Shem Havaya within the Tzimtzum, and what it produces in a pnimisdik, fused, seamless way. Again, the fusion of infinite revelation and finite creation, or finite revelation. Obviously not experiencing it now, we're setting it in place, it's happening, but we're not experiencing it. But it'll be experienced, the result of our Avodah, Lasid Love. And that's the whole objective.
Does that mean to say that there's a chasarn, Lasid Love, that will still need Shem Elikim?
Of course.
There's a chasarn.
Not a chasarn. That's the Maila. The Maila is, that's the whole Maila. The Eira B'ligvul is revealed in Eira Gvul. That's the whole Chiddush.
Correct, but once it's already through our Avodah and through the slapshus and the keli and the pnimisdik way, which Hashem Elokim has been doing all the time until really what is the purpose of the Hashem Elokim if we're already these galus is already permeated? I thought, to a certain extent, the Elikim of now is going to be a Havaya. Of course, it's going to be all these levels, etc., etc. But what is the purpose of it?
If Shem Elikim would still not be manifested, then there is the whole purpose is not achieved. period. Because the whole point is did it b'tachtonim. And what creates the tachten is the tzimtzum. Now the concealing aspect of the tzimtzum, that till now it eclipsed God, that's gone. In that sense, that's over. No more heavenly. Konef oid merecha, God will no longer be hidden and no longer concealed from us. But will we be, when Shem Elokim produces this, finite human beings, will the world be the tachten? Adrabah v'adrabah, yes. And that's the whole point, that in the tachten, godliness is revealed. So Shem Elokim remains forever. But in absolute, what does Shem Elokim do? The tzimtzum produces finite creations. Except finite, not except, that's the point. Finite creations then will be one with Hashem and experience His infinite revelation and not be dissolved. That's the chiddush. Remain finite and in a pnimius. The bligvul is drawn and experienced in a pnimius by gvul. This is the most extraordinary achievement. And so therefore Shem Elokim is ever present as Shem Havaya is. That's the meaning of Ba'im Hashem Echad Shmei Echad. It's a similar meaning, that a name that now, a name is a Miras Glimber, a name is a Helen Vahester. All the people know of the king is his name, they know nothing of the king himself, they don't experience the king. Just his name, Shmei Nikra Aleim. They're subjects of the king, no relationship with him. Then, the subjects remain subjects, but they'll have the most intimate experience and relationship and understanding with the king himself and all of his full glory. But they remain subjects, finite subjects with all of their limitations. That's the Atat Tetzaveh, that Etzem and Neshama permeate within the every detail of consciousness and limitation that makes up our being as a reflection of Ishtalshalas Bachlal. All of this is permeated with Elikus. It doesn't disappear. Hence Shem Elokim remains. Which part you're saying is correct? What's no longer? So what changed then? The big change is that till now Shem Elokim for us just meant we don't see or know Him. We're just left with our limitations and stuck with it. Now the limitations remain, but knowing Him, that's what is now happening. His revelation happens to us in our world. In that sense, the nartik is removed, but Shem Elokim remains.
Reminds me of, I don't know if it's Al Derech, he may say somewhere around in the floors that even when Mashiach comes, we're still going to...
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's
a different nuance, but it's a nuance within that, but it's the same general idea. The Maila Viskafia, even in a world where there's no battle anymore. But the Inyan of the matter remains in full force, because that's the whole point of it all. And there's other biyur, much more nuance over there. But that's what it's dealing with greater nuance, more layers. So continuing. So, Lachein Gam Lo Asid Lavoi, therefore when Mashiach comes, Kasheru Asruach HaTumar Avi Min Ha'aretz. So on the one hand, there's no more spirit of impurity. Ve'epo Yechelam, and I will transform the nations, and love they will all serve Him, Hashem Shechem Echad, with one consent, one shoulder. There's no resistance anymore. Still, then too, Yebeis Hashem is the Ya'akov of Yisrael. Even then, this is forever. There's Enon Nimchakim. The name of Yaakov remains, but this is Akev, this is the heel. Yes, because godliness is revealed in the heel then. That's the point. Shehem Dugmas Beis Hashem is the Vayalikim, that these two names reflect Vayalikim. Shezel Ma'ashanemar, Al Azman Yemesa Mashiach, and that's why even referring to Mashiach, which is a question he asked earlier, how's Mashiach described according to some of the Mefarshim? According to the Rambam, it goes, Darach Kechem Yaakov goes on David Melech, but according to many Mefarshim, that too. A star will shoot out of Yaakov, it's Mashiach. And then V'kom Shevet Mi Yisrael, and a scepter, a leader will rise at Israel. Then too, the names are still evoked, Yaakov and Yisrael, because that's the point of the Yichud Havaylikim, or in simple words, Dire B'tachtoinim. He's revealed in all of his glory where B'tachtoinim, and dafk in the details of the Tachton. Yeah, somewhat clear. Yeah, folks. Ches v'kivim shedachlis hashleim is the Moishe Mashiach. So since the whole perfection of your Moishe Mashiach is Then the Ein Sof is revealed in this world. But Elam Hazeh remains Elam Hazeh because Shem Elikim, the Koach HaGvul, continues to produce a finite world. And yet in this finite world, Havaya Elikim, His boundless, infinite glory is revealed. Or to restate all of this, then will be experienced. We said this before, but you new language I didn't say this morning yet. What it means is that then will be experienced that the Gvul, His finite manifestation, the Tzimtzum, Shem Elikim, is as equal expression of Him as Havaya is. It expresses Him, reveals Him like Havaya does. Havaya reveals His infinite power, and Shem Elikim reveals His Koach HaGvul. Now, for us, till now, the Koach HaGvul just eclipsed Him, removed Him, created a finite, independent creature, the screens, and we're left in the dark. Then we'll see the screen is all Him. The darkness is all Him. Yashes Cheshech Sisrei. So the darkness will reveal Him as the infinite, as the Oyer reveals Him. It's all equally Him. In that sense, it's another way of saying that Gilui Oyer in Sof will be in the Tachten. It means that in the Koach HaGvul, the Koach HaGvul will reveal His presence as truly and as powerfully as infinite revelation obviously does. That's obvious. But that was completely lost on us and eclipsed from us to the Tzimtzum. Now it's all going to be one. Where you are concealed, that is just as much you as where you are revealed, in simple language. That we will see. So the concealment, the Gvul remains, except it won't eclipse it. The Gvul will see that it's Him. It'll express it. Yeah? Where I thought you were gone, where you had abandoned me, will then experience as, no, I was there, and in even a deeper way, which is not saying now, but even a deeper way than where you knew me when I was revealed. Simple moshel is a parent and a child. So there's the chesed, then the parent has to discipline. This is not tolerable and unacceptable. There's no discussion and no apologies. In the kids' world, you abandoned me, and sometimes, therefore, it's necessary to ignore the child. Try this now before you talk this way to a parent. This is not the way a child talks to a parent, and therefore, you will be ignored. And when you speak as a child speaks respect to the parent, then the parent will speak back to you. So the child is kicking and screaming, ignored Helen Vehester, but the emes is, in this moment, where the parent disciplines and is ignoring the kid, or in the good old days, giving a good frask, the parent is more present there. That's a much more invested parent. It's coming from also a deeper place from the parent, because it's not easy to do that. It's much easier to be lovey-dovey. It's hard, very hard sometimes to discipline. You don't want to, so we shy away from it. But the Pnimi is, the parents are more invested. It's closer to the child, in ignoring the child. The kid's talking, not listening. I am just not listening. When you apologize, well, I'll talk to you. So in that ignoring, that his Bam is more present. So Mashiach will come, and back to the analogy, when the kid gets older, more mature, the kid looks back at his childhood and realizes and goes into those moments where the parent discipline. Now he realizes there wasn't abandonment. The kid grows up a little bit. Can take a long time and therapy to find out. It shouldn't really. If it's healthy, the kid finds out pretty soon. Figures it out. That this is not because you hate me, you don't like me, you're abandoning me. This is because this is what I need. So then you find out that but at the time where I felt abandoned and even angrier, Bamis, you were there even more. That's going to be lost love. We will thank the Eibishter that he was angry. Thank him. Because the anger hurt us at the time, and it felt like abandonment. But then we will thank him and realize that no, that discipline, the anger, whatever, it's more than discipline. But that gevura is really a deeper connection. The Maimon doesn't say deeper, he just says it's just as much you as you, the love and the embrace and the hug and the kiss when things were good. It's the same you. You didn't change. You love me the same always. You expressed it different ways. And when you disciplined me, it felt like you didn't, but now I know you do. That's lost love. That's the whole kavanah. And now he's saying, we have to bring that, we'll stop here. We have to bring it out. This mid-sentence he's saying. It's all totally in our avoid. And he's going to spell that out a bit. Some beautiful, beautiful inyanim coming. Okay.